Hi, my name is Dr. Rachel Geller, and I'm happy to be here today to go through a step-by-step guide on introducing your newcomer cat to your resident cat. So welcome to introducing your new cat to your resident cat. This is a step-by-step guide. You want to do a proper introduction right from the beginning, because this will lay the foundation for how your cats will see each other and the associations they will have with each other in the future. A slow, structured introduction will stop those destructive cycles of aggression from emerging. The separation will allow us to introduce the cats in a way that they will feel calm, safe, and secure. And this will carry them into a tolerant relationship. And you never know, they may even grow to love each other. The separation period for your newcomer cat is not a prison sentence. Please don't be sad about keeping the new cat in the sanctuary room. You can go in there as much as you want. Remember, this is to let each cat stay calm and feel a sense of security. Defensive and aggressive behavior is due to feeling threatened, even if it's in the cat owner's mind. And that is very stressful. So we want to start by keeping the newcomer in his sanctuary room. Your resident cat should have free reign of your home. You never want to take away preferential territory from your resident cat. The sanctuary room should be the least preferable real estate in your home. Make sure that there is food and water on one side and a scratching post and litter box on the other side. The scratching post should be at least 3 feet tall and rope or sisal wrapped. This is important for the cat to get a full stretch. Make sure the newcomer has toys in his room. Toys are really important for solo play when you are not in the room with him, so that he is busy trying to accomplish a task rather than focusing on his own tension and anxiety. Puzzle feeders and fuzzy mice are good options. But even a ball in a tissue box is a no-cost option to keep him interested. If the room you are using as the sanctuary room has a bed or a bureau in it, block off the underneath so your newcomer does not spend all of his time hiding under the furniture. You can use luggage or storage containers or boxes to make the underneath inaccessible for your new cat. Make sure he has other hiding places such as a cat cube, cat tunnel, or even a box on its side. This way, the cat can hide, but you still have accessibility to him, and you can still sit right next to him. Even though you can't 100% remove the scent of the newcomer, wash your hands before returning to the resident cat, and the same the other way around. I tell people to keep a bathrobe, a large button-down shirt, a smock, or some other covering to put over your clothes when you're with the newcomer in the sanctuary room. This prevents the cats from being too overwhelmed by all of the other cat smells. It's a really important part of the calming down process, and it helps to remove you from any territorial disputes. Anything that we can do to lessen the stress, we want to do. With both of your cats, be cool, calm, and collected. Keep it light and casual, like nothing is different. If you are stressed or nervous by the introduction, they will be sure to pick up on it, and they will blame each other. The cats may be flustered or perturbed by the sounds and scents of each other, and your resident cat is definitely going to know that there is a newcomer in that room. So the resident cat might growl, hiss, or display fearful or aggressive body postures. The newcomer may do the same. If any cat does this, allow that cat to calm down, distract or redirect the cat with a toy so he works out any tension in a positive manner, or lead the cat away from the sanctuary room, whether this is happening outside or inside, and offer a small meal or treat. I also strongly recommend that you spray Comfort Zone or Feel-Away spray on 2 towels and put one on the floor outside and one on the floor inside of the sanctuary room to help calm both cats. Do this right by the door on either side. Stay at this stage until your resident cat is no longer agitated, fearful, or overly focused on the sanctuary room door and the fact that the newcomer is in there. Now, this might be 2 days or a few days, however long it takes. Go at the cat's pace. Don't rush this. When the cats are calm, we can move forward with the process. But I want you to go at the cat's pace and specifically go at the slower cat's pace. Now, we're going to go on to the scent communication phase. This allows the cats to learn about each other and gather information in a controlled, safe, and secure way. It allows the cats to feel some sense of control over the situation. Sometimes, with cats, it is best to let them think that this was all their idea. So set things up so the cats are the ones making the decisions. We always want the cats to take everything in on their own terms. Take a clean sock, gently rub the newcomer around the mouth and head. Take another separate sock and rub your resident cat in the same way. Place the sock with the newcomer scent in an area where your resident cat hangs out a lot of the time, but not right in a cat bed or favorite sleeping spot. Just have it in the room in a neutral place where he spends most of his time. Place the sock with your resident cat scents in the newcomer's sanctuary room in a similarly neutral area. Continue with the stage until the cat seems comfortable, meaning you don't see any aggression, there's no posturing, there aren't any signs or vocalizations that are negative, and make sure the cat is eating and using the litter box normally. Again, this can be 2 days or a few days. Observe your cats carefully for signs that they are both comfortable. Make sure there are no signs of fear or no signs of aggression. Go at the cat's pace. Don't go on until both cats are acting normally. And again, always go at the slower cat's pace. I highly recommend that you refresh the scents on the socks a couple of times a day. Now, don't go on to the next phase until this phase is going well and you're not seeing any negative body postures or you're not hearing any negative vocalizations. So keep on going with that scent swap. And now we're going to add in something else. We are going to add in a soil swap. So next, take a tiny bit of soiled litter from the newcomer's litter box and place it in the resident cat's box. And do the same the other way around. Now, this can be just a very small amount. Keep going with the soil swap along with the scent swap for at least 1 to 2 days. Make sure both cats are using the litter box without a problem. Now, do not move on to this next step until the cats are handling the prior step 100% fine. If all is going well, now it is time to proceed to the next step. Now, place your resident cat in a separate room. Use any room except for the newcomer's sanctuary room. Even a bathroom is okay. And we now want that newcomer to be able to safely explore your house. Open the door to the sanctuary room and let the newcomer start to explore and to investigate his home without the distraction or fear of your resident cat. During this time, the newcomer gets information, but he also deposits his scents on his own time frame for your resident cat to take in on his own time frame. Allow your new cat to come out at her own speed. Some cats are brave, while others are shy. Some cats are excited to see and smell everything, whereas other cats may want to take it one step at a time. Just like people, each cat enters into a new situation at her own rate. Let your new cat determine how far she will want to go. As the cat comes out into the main part of the home, use an enticing fishing pole type toy to distract her if she becomes nervous. Now, we want there to be structure to this process. So at first, let the newcomer have 1 or 2 10-minute sessions per day of exploring the house without your resident cat present. As soon as the newcomer is done and he's finished with his session and is now safely back into his sanctuary room, now you can let your resident cat back out. Gradually increase the duration and amount of these sessions. Go to 1 or 2 12-minute sessions per day, then 1 or 2 15-minute sessions per day, and cap it for the rest of this program at 2 20-minute sessions per day. Now you'll have to judge how often you do this step based on their comfort level and acceptance. Make sure when the newcomer is out, he isn't only looking over his shoulder for your resident cat. And when your resident cat is back out from his temporary room, he is not overly focused on looking for the newcomer. Wait for all of this to calm down. It could be days, but don't worry if it seems to be going slowly. That is okay. Just like people, each cat enters into a new relationship and a new environment, new sounds, new smells at a different pace and comfort level. So don't be worried. Don't rush it. It's okay if it's going a little slowly, and do not go on to the next step until this is going very well. This is important. During these roaming sessions, set up more than 1 litter box in a couple of areas that you have chosen as the permanent locations. This way, your newcomer cat can get to know the other areas where the litter boxes will be located while still having the security of her litter box in that sanctuary room. I always recommend keeping the sanctuary room set up for a while, even after it appears that your new cat has settled into her new home. This provides a sense of security, knowing that she has her safe space if she needs it. By presenting your home to your new cat gradually, you can decrease her fear, anxiety, and stress. After the scent stage has been going really well, and the cats are handling the scent swapping and the soil swapping, and the cats have been out separately to deposit and gather scents, now we are ready for what I call the food visual stage. Food is motivating for a cat, especially a yummy treat that you know the cats really like. You can use food to help the cats form positive associations with each other. Each cat will think, now that I notice it appears that whenever that other cat is nearby, I seem to get delicious treats and I get attention. Maybe this new cat isn't so bad after all. Open the door to the sanctuary room a crack, and I mean just a crack, and let them see each other as you give them each a small meal or a special treat. The cats need to be far enough apart that they stay in their comfort zones. They do not need to be right on either side of the door at the beginning of this process. They can start off several feet away from each other. So you want to start wherever their comfort zones are. As soon as the meal or treat is over, close the door. Do this for every meal and for special treats as you are able. As the cats get more comfortable with each other, you can open the door a teeny bit wider and also move the bowls closer. Having the cats eat in front of each other teaches them that positive things happen when the other cat is around. Again, use your judgment in how quickly to proceed with this. My feeling is it is always best to be conservative, be incremental, be gradual. Cats don't like sudden surprises. So I would rather you do a 5-second session with the door open barely a millimeter that ends well, that ends on a positive note, than to try to do a 2-minute session that ends with fur flying because you pushed it too long. If 5 seconds is all they can handle, feed them the yummy treat for 5 seconds, gently, casually close the door like it's no big deal, and wait for the next session to try this again. Very gradually and incrementally lengthen the duration of the sessions. Very gradually and incrementally move the bowls closer. Very gradually and incrementally open the door a bit wider. You get the idea here, right? Let the cat set the pace of the progress. You can reserve a super duper special treat for these sessions. I have had excellent luck with stinky, oily, cheap tuna fish, as well as, and don't laugh at me, KFC chicken nuggets. Stay on this phase until the bowls are pretty close. The door is wide open, and they can eat most, if not all of their food without being fixated on the other cat. If you are free feeding, I suggest picking up the food so that the cats are hungry and will want to participate in these sessions. For the food visual stage, you want to start with the distance between the two cats that is not troubling to either cat. You will know you have the proper distance to start this stage if the cat's not exhibiting any signs of arousal, aggression, or anxiety towards each other. In other words, both cats feel safe at this distance. Now, it's okay if the distance is large. We'll get there. If at any time one of the cats becomes anxious, increase the distance again between the two cats until the cat is no longer fearful. During the next session, start again at the distance with which the cat was comfortable in the previous session. After several sessions at a particular distance, the cats will become more accustomed to each other's presence. Then, at this point, the next step is to decrease the distance by just an inch or two. Monitor the cats closely for early signs of anxiety. If there are no attempts to attack, no body language signaling impending doom, or no signs of anxiety, gradually and incrementally decrease the distance between the two cats. Gradually and incrementally open the door wider. And gradually and incrementally lengthen the duration of these sessions. At any time, if the cat becomes anxious, back up and start again at a cat-approved distance. Do not move on until this step is going well. It's fine to take your time on this step because here's where you are building those positive associations and letting each cat know that when the other cat is around, good things happen. So I don't want you to go on to the group play unless the prior phase, the food visual phase, is going well. If the cats are able to eat relatively near each other without any fur flying or hissing, growling, intimidating postures, and so forth, we can go on. So if the prior phase is going well, it is now time for interactive play therapy and group play therapy. We're going to start off the same way. Open the door to the sanctuary room so the cats see each other and start off with just a crack again and have an interactive toy in your hand so that you are ready to distract one of the cats if there are any tensions, fear, hissing, growling, or if any aggressive posturings appear. During introductions, I find that ping pong balls or crinkly mylar balls are good to have handy to divert one cat's attention from the other. If the cats are handling this well, and you can enlist a family member or a friend, or even do this yourself, then it's okay to use fishing pole type toys and conduct very short group play sessions. You can do this on your own with a fishing pole type toy in each hand, or you can get a family member or friend to have the other fishing pole type toy. Again, like the last phase, every play session has to be short. This is because you always want to end on a positive note. It's always better to end sooner than you think you need to. Being armed with treats during this phase is helpful too. Be sure to allow the cats multiple captures when they are playing. It's the captures that provide the feeling of happiness, satisfaction, and confidence. It's the captures that get the cat's feel-good chemicals flowing. It's the captures that help develop positive associations. So use the same techniques I described above, slowly lengthening the duration of the sessions and slowly moving the cats closer. Close the door when the session is over. Now, we are going to keep going with this program, and now you will add a baby gate phase. But again, only go on to this stage of the program if the last stage is going perfectly well. You can use 2 baby gates, one on top of the other, instead of the closed door. You can also use a tall gate. There are some very tall ones made for dogs or for toddlers. You can use a screen door, and you can even use a lattice, the type that are used in gardens. But now, the cats are always seeing and smelling each other. Continue to do these very important group feeding sessions and group interactive play sessions. But now we have the baby gate there as a protection, so it can sort of add a little more to the program in terms of duration and closeness. Be sure to do these sessions consistently. Have a large blanket or towel ready that you can place over the gate to end the session quickly if you need to. So if you see any aggression, any negative body postures, you see the ears going back and down, or maybe the puffy tail, throw a blanket over the baby gate and let the cats calm back down. When the prior step is going well, and again, only if it's going okay, now we can begin letting the cats be together for very short periods of time, gradually and conservatively increasing this time. So what we have been doing all along is something called systematic desensitization. This is an active process where the cats learn that a situation is neither important nor meaningful. Now, when the situation doesn't harm either cat or have any consequences, the cat will stop reacting over time. With this type of learning, cats don't forget about a situation, but instead they actively learn not to react to it over time. In other words, they get used to it. Systematic desensitization is a very controlled approach to presenting the cat with the thing they are afraid or nervous about, such as the other cat. And by doing it gradually and carefully, we can decrease that fear, anxiety, and stress. And you will notice that I use this technique throughout my whole introduction process. Now, we never want to go from 0 to 60 when it comes to cats. So when we start letting the cats together, we're just not going to plop them in each other's territory. We are going to go slowly. So let the cats be together for 1 10-minute session per day. And you can do this for a few days. When this is going well, go on to 1 20-minute session per day. And when that's going well, go on to 1 30-minute session per day, and so forth. Don't add more time until the prior time is going well. If you go too quickly, the resident cat is going to feel like her territory is up for grabs, which is very scary for a cat. And if you go too quickly, the newcomer is going to feel like he's been plopped into enemy lines, and we don't want that either. Keep a fishing pole type toy handy for distraction and redirection as the cats start spending more time together. Now, when you distract a cat with a toy, you trigger his prey drive. And this will shift your cat out of that aggressive mode and into the positive mode of a hunter. Even though he may have been planning to bother or instigate with your other cat, all cats would much rather go after the prey. Then you can conduct a quick interactive play session, moving him away from where he was about to bother the other cat and allowing the cat to work out his tension or fear or anxiety in a positive rather than aggressive way. And follow this with a special treat that you know your cat really loves. Your intimidated cat remains safe, and the aggressor gets to release his tension and stress. Everybody wins. A good toy for this that I recommend is the cat dancer. It is a very inexpensive toy, so you can buy a lot of them. What I love about the cat dancer is it can be easily curled up and hidden under a seat or a couch cushion or in a drawer. The more you have around the house, the better it's going to be, because when it's time to distract and redirect, the last thing you want is to be in a position where you're running around through the house just trying to find the right toy. At this point, don't worry if there is the occasional hiss. Just keep the interactions calm and stay the course. Eventually, as they learn that the appearance of the other cat means food, treats, playtime, and attention, they will develop positive associations. When it comes to cats, it's all about the associations that they have with other people and other cats. Now, the good thing about distraction and redirection training is that it is a positive way of retraining. You're giving your cat a really good reason to like his new behavior. This method will break any negative behavior patterns and gives your cat a reason to stop going after the other cat because he's getting all kinds of great things. He's getting playtime, he's getting you, he's getting positive attention, he's getting yummy treats when he does not do this. The other good thing about this method is, let's say you were wrong in thinking that one cat was about to instigate with the other. You thought something bad was going to happen, but maybe it really wasn't. Well, the worst thing that could possibly happen is you give your cat a bonus play session. So it's all good. Be aware of the triggers or get a sense of the body signals that let you know maybe a negative interaction is coming. But if you can't figure it ahead of time, that is okay. Because once a cat gets into motion, if you have toys handy, you can distract and redirect anytime you need to. Supervise the cats when they are together until you are sure that they are okay alone. However, keep the sanctuary room for a while until you feel your newcomer no longer needs it. Even after the cats have settled in, however, make sure each cat has a space, and especially vertical space, that is clearly his. Also, make sure you have at least one more litter box than the number of cats you have, and that they are not in the same room. In general, a proper, structured introduction takes around 2 weeks. Now, some introductions may take a shorter period of time, but also it is not unreasonable for some to take a longer period of time. And if you need to go more slowly, believe me, it's worth it, because you will not get into that destructive cycle of aggression between your cats, and you will get your cats to the point where they will tolerate each other just fine. Now, we may only get to the point of tolerance. Depending on your cats, we may not get to the point of gleefully embracing each other, but that's okay. Tolerance is fine as long as they can live together and not be fighting with each other. And whether you've adopted a new cat or you're fostering a cat, this is very important. If you have any questions about this presentation, you can email me anytime at drrachelcatbehavior.com. And thank you very much for listening to this presentation. If you follow the steps closely and follow the program as I laid it out, you will be able to have your cats sharing their territory without any fighting. So thank you guys very much.